Okay, so the Finalmouse ULX has been out for quite a while, but there are some interesting things that I found out, and one of those is the performance. They have the popular modern setup with the Nordic MCU and the 3395, which in combination with the firmware solution does provide a very good performance. For example, motion latency at 4000 Hz is the best that I've tested so far, and the same applies to 1000 Hz as well. What makes this more impressive is the fact that the battery life with the ULX is absolute top notch. At 4K I'm betting that they have the best battery life out at the moment, and that might even be the case with 1000 Hz. The click latency is also very impressive on the ULX, as with 4K it's 0.49 milliseconds, and it's actually even better at 2K and 1K. This is because the USB dongle is a high-speed device, so it's always pulled at 8000 Hz. So there are 8 packets per millisecond, and at 4K you are basically taking 4 of those with motion data and possible click data, which does not leave that much space to put in another packet with click data. Whereas with 1000 Hz you only have that one packet with motion or click data, so there are many frames for you to push in click data early. From click latency to click feel, which is actually really nice on the ULX in my units. The buttons are light and easy to actuate, which is very important for me, and there are no real quality concerns. Quite a bit of post travel on my second unit if you click the buttons all the way from the front, but nothing really that alarming. The side buttons are slightly mushy, but still are alright to use in games, and the scroll wheel has quite tactile steps, but it feels a little bit mushy when it actuates, so it's not to my liking. The overall quality on my two mice is not the best, as there is some creaking on the right side on both units. This easily happens when I just grip the mouse, so it's not a nice experience for a mouse in this price range. The shell also does not feel the best for my hand, as I'm a massive fan of rubberized coatings, and I really enjoyed the Starlight 1210s editions, but this one does not feel very premium or grippy for my hands. They do give you decent grip tapes to go with the mouse, so you can at least apply those if you want to increase the grippiness. One thing that is actually very nice about the mouse is XPANEL, which is basically a web-based configuration software. As long as you have Chromium-based browser, you don't need to install anything and you can set everything up right here. What's also nice, although not quite as important for me, is the weight of the mouse, and the ULX weighs 38 grams, so the mouse feels very light no matter what the grip style. Quick mention about the mouse feet, so these feel pretty much exactly just like the Starlight 12 feet for me. No issues with any kind of surface, and I just do not see any reason for me to swap these at least. The shape is really nothing new, and most of you guys are very familiar with it, so I won't go too deep with it again, but here are some comparison pictures with other smaller or medium-sized mice. Basically it's quite low profile and flat, somewhat thin, but it's not too short, so it does not feel too small. It's suitable for quite a few different grip styles, but for me personally, I prefer the smaller size. But I actually did something to make the medium size feel a lot better for me, so I slapped the Infinity Hum from Starlight 12 to the ULX. It looks a little bit scuffed, and that is because it's not built for this mouse, but it improves the shape for my preferences a ton, and I actually enjoy playing with it quite a lot. I do not recommend for you to do this for a mouse that costs $190, but if you guys from Infinity Mice are listening, I would still definitely want this hum for the ULX as well. But overall for the Finalmouse ULX, there are many positive aspects and there are those negative ones. If we quickly round those up, I would for sure put the performance as a positive aspect. Click feel is the second one, then the weight, and then the battery life. Downsides then again are that quality and the creaking, at least on my unit, and the surface feel is just not very premium for a mouse that costs this much. So let's quickly talk about the price, and for us Europeans it's 190 euros and 14 bucks for shipping, and there will be no fees. Then again, the WL mouse on Max Gaming is about 160 euros, so the price difference is not that large, especially when you consider shipping as well. And for example, the Zowie U2 is 170 euros, so even less of a difference right there. There is no denying that the ULX is very expensive and the prices of mice is getting out of hand, but still, I wouldn't say it's horrible for what you get, but the quality needs to be better. But yeah, pretty much anything at this price is impossible for me to recommend to anybody. And overall, I don't really recommend mice anymore. I just want to give you guys as much facts as I can for you to make that buying decision yourself, because I think that's very important. So I'm not really here to help you guys make that final decision towards buying. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching and see you in the next one.